All right, everyone, let's talk about not wasting gold. And what I wanted to do today is go through a list of various things that I see people wasting their gold on that you definitely don't want to do. So let's go ahead and start off here with number one. And this is a really big one. I would be very careful before you end up making any purchases on the market under the combat supplies tab. This is going to include various battle items, potions, and stuff like that here. And the reason why I say that is in a lot of cases, it's actually going to be cheaper to end up getting these through the Mari shop. So what you want to get in the habit of doing is going to the Mari shop and seeing for whatever items you need that are in those battle item consumables, whether it's buff battle items, utility, offensive battle items, or in a lot of cases, it's just going to end up being potions. This is probably the most commonly purchased one right here. What you want to do instead is take a look at how much gold this is going to cost you in blue crystals. So if we go to the currency exchange and we go to buy crystals, we can always buy blue crystals with gold. So 25 blue crystals here. Well, we can get 95 blue crystals for under 500 gold right now. And obviously these prices are going to be different depending on when you guys watch this video. But that means that 25 blue crystals is going to cost like about 150 or so gold, and you end up getting 5 of the chests, whether it's for the battle items, the missile, the utility ones, the healing ones, the offensive. You get 5 chests, every one of these that you buy. They're all 25 blue crystals from the Mari shop. And then take a look at how many items you're going to end up getting. So from the healing battle chest, you can see that we get 5 chests that have 10 of these, blue major HP potions each. So we're going to get 50 major HP potions for 25 blue crystals, which is about 150 or so gold. Whereas if we were to buy these from the market, you can see here that buying 50 of these would end up costing, let's go to major HP, it would end up costing like 800 gold. So we're getting like a triple discount from the Mari shop versus buying them from the market. And get in the habit of doing this for all the items that are going to be under the combat supplies tab, and you're going to see that in basically all cases it's going to be better to end up buying them from the Mari shop instead. All right, let's move on to number 2. And let's go back to the Mari shop here. And I want to say number 2 on the list of wasting gold is making purchases on bad deals. And this is something you really want to be careful of, especially if you guys watched a video from a couple weeks ago about the Mari shop that told you like this item is good, get this item. Well, things have changed very quickly here in just the last couple of weeks in Lost Ark. And a lot of items that used to be really good from the Mari shop a couple of weeks ago are no longer good. So what you always want to do is get in the habit of, instead of taking a look at items costing blue crystals, get in the habit of converting that blue crystal cost to what it would end up costing you in gold instead. And just so you guys can get an example of an item that when the game first came out, it used to be worth it, but it's no longer worth it. If we take a look at like these Guardian Stones right here, these are tier 1 Guardian Stones. Okay, 36 blue crystals, you get 400 of these. Now, if we convert 36 blue crystals to gold, that's like 150 to 200 or so gold, and we're going to get 40 bundles of 10. Now, if we were to end up buying 40 bundles of 10 of these off of the market, you could see that they're only 1 gold each right now. It would only cost us 40 gold. So we actually get a 10 times discount buying this item from the market versus buying it from the Mari shop. And that's just an example. Do this with all your items because a lot of stuff that used to be really good from the Mari shop, especially under that enhancement tab, is no longer good because prices here just keep on dropping. And I'll mention this as a general note about everything under the enhancement material page. These prices have steadily been going down and down and down. As more people approach tier 2 and tier 3, these resources are going to continuously keep going down in price. So not only be careful buying enhancement materials from the Mari shop, but also be careful buying a ton of them from the market if you're not going to use them right away. So if you do buy a lot of enhancement materials from the market, I would suggest don't hold on to them for too long because they're probably just going to keep dropping in value like they've been doing basically since the game came out. So that's going to be number 2 right there. All right, let's move on to number 3 here, and this is a very big one. Let's move over from the market to the auction house, and a very big waste of gold that I see a lot of people do and a lot of people make is on tier 1 and tier 2 equipment. Tier 1 and Tier 2, even the developers of the game basically stated that Tier 1 and Tier 2 are kind of like a tutorial and introduction to the real game, which is Tier 3. And what happens is if you actually take a look at gear that's in a lower tier than what you're currently in here, you'll see that it actually has a penalty. You equipped accessory at a tier that does not match the item level, only 70% of the additional effects will be applied. So not only are the general stats going to be lower than the current tier that you're in, but you also end up taking a penalty for having gear that is not part of the tier that you're currently in. And what this means is because tier 1 and tier 2 are generally going to be a lot faster than the amount of time that you spend in tier 3, and because you have less stats on the gear and you take all these, you take this penalty as well, I would avoid overspending on basically any tier 1 and tier 2 gear. Even if it feels like it's got perfect stats and it's a really good item, I can promise you guys that very shortly you're going to end up replacing this item. So be careful. This goes with accessories, this goes with your gear as well, and this also goes with ability stones. Now, there's nothing wrong if you do need to buy like a couple of pieces, if they're a good deal, and if it's going to help you out, go for it. I'm not saying don't buy any tier 1 or tier 2 gear. I'm just saying be careful overspending and trying to find that perfect piece, because very likely it's going to end up getting replaced very, very soon. So that's a big one right there. And now let's talk about, and this is one that you might not actually expect on the list, and I want to mention a very important note about this, and that is tier 3 gear. Now, very importantly, tier 3 gear, it's okay to spend more on tier 3 gear now, because it's going to be tier 3 is going to be what you're going to be a part of for a very long time. But there's still going to be better gear in the future in tier 3 that we're going to get. So a lot of the stuff that you guys actually see on the market right now, if you're trying to chase for like the perfect accessories, there's actually going to be better accessories that are released relatively soon here. And right now you can see that we've got legendary tier 3 accessories, but we do not have relic tier 3 accessories. And relic tier 3 accessories, actually, I believe they allow you to go 2 points higher on the engraving effects. So whereas these ones right here, you can get like +3 for certain engraving nodes. The relic ones, you'll be able to get +4 and I believe even +5. So if you go too crazy buying stuff, even in tier 3, you're going to realize that it's going to get replaced probably sooner than you think. And also a very, very important note here is tier 3 gear really starts to eat a lot of Phaons. Tier 1 and Tier 2, I believe everything in Tier 2 and lower is only 1 Phaon. So again, if you need to buy a couple pieces of gear because it's going to help you out, if it's a good price, it's only 1 Phaon. That's okay. Just don't go too crazy in Tier 1 and Tier 2. But in Tier 3, something else that you really have to be mindful of is that items are going to start to eat a lot of Phaons. And you can see here, like if I were to end up buying this right here, you could see that it costs 15 Phaons. So what you also want to do is when you actually take a look at the price of stuff that you're buying in Tier 3, don't just look at the amount of gold that it's going to end up costing you. You also have to keep in mind the pay-on cost as well, because it's more than 1 now. It's going to be a lot. And the better accessories and better stuff that we get in Tier 3 that comes out is going to take, I believe, even more Phaons. And so if you end up not only spending too much gold on Tier 3 stuff now, you're going to regret it because it's going to get replaced, and you're also going to regret using all these free Phaons that they give us. I know it's a lot. I know we're getting like 132 of them with this, kind of like this apology gift that they're giving us. But with these really high Phaon prices, if you end up burning too many of them now, you're really going to regret having used a lot of the free ones that we got earlier on. So I just say proceed with caution going forward in the future, not just with Tier 1 and Tier 2 gear, but even with Tier 3 gear as well. So anyway, that's going to be about it here for this one. I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff, but I wanted to kind of keep this condensed and focus on these topics here because these definitely are the biggest things that I see people wasting their gold on over the last few weeks. So I hope this video helped out. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a quick like, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this in the future, and feel free to check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/salt, where I'll be streaming Lost Ark as well as other games. Thanks again, everyone. Take care, and until next time.